You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
Hello.
Is it over?
It's over.
Oh, thank God.
Or has it just begun?
It's only just begun. Sorry about that. Yes, welcome everyone to Moviesucktastic episode 181.
That's wrong.
182.
I could say keep going, but it's 189.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, because we're 183. Stop it now. That's not
185? No, all right. And
yes, one eggplant.
I know you. Love that movie. We are reviewing the 1983 Michael Mann sleeper cult hit, kinda, sorta, The Keep, based on the novel by F. Paul Wilson.
F. Paul Wilson. Before
we go any further, I have to make a correction. As far as I can tell, the F. Paul Wilson book, The Tomb, is not the movie that is not the book that the 1980s film The Tomb was based on at all, in the least. Don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Okay. Ignore that.
Well, you mentioned it last week, right?
Yes, and I was wrong. I don't know why that popped into my head. So ignore that.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. You are forgiven.
I'm asking forgiveness. I'm just pointing out my mistake.
Sounds like you're asking for forgiveness.
No, I don't give a shit.
Then you shouldn't have said anything.
I'm criticizing. Hey. We're reviewing The Keep.
Now, this is a movie that I never heard of before. Michael Mann happens to have a couple of, like, not underground, that's the wrong word, unreleased cult films. This being one of them. Another film called Band of the Hand. These two movies alone are probably some of the most culty films that you can get.
Culty.
The only real full cut version of this, and it's not the 210-minute version, which I'm dying to see. But the 96-minute version is the Laserdisc rip that's floating around the internet.
His first cut was like 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, he felt that the trailer that I showed. If anyone has seen the film, you'll notice immediately that most of the trailer, when I mean most, I mean nearly all of it, is not in the movie.
Yeah.
Because there was so much raw footage. Well, you said that the original cut is 3.5 hours?
Yeah, roughly.
That's the 210-minute cut. That's 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So, you just said what I said differently, so
That's right.
How's that vodka?
Ugh, nasty.
I'm drinking water. I could lie and say I'm drinking vodka, but I'm not.
Why would you? But,
all the cool kids are doing it.
Wish.
Peer pressure. So I would love to see the 3.5 hour cut of this movie.
Oh,
I really would, because
I prefer to see the 210-minute version myself.
Yeah, exactly. Um, don't make me laugh. It hurts. The film is poorly cut. It's poorly edited. The music is cut and edited wrong as well because Paramount took over. Michael Mann had, his 210-minute cut, and Paramount said, listen, you need to cut this more. So he cuts it to 2 hours. They say that's not good enough. So they cut it down to 91, and 91 minutes was the VHS or the video release. The 96-minute cut is the Laserdisc release.
I got a feeling they were like me. They're watching the first cut, and 10 minutes into the film, we're still slowly touring this Romanian village in slow motion. I'm like, would you get to the fucking anything? What are you doing?
And not having seen any of the footage, I tend to agree. But I still want to see it.
Holly did not make it more than 15 minutes through the film.
No shit.
Because the beginning, and I have to admit, I was even like, all right, go ahead, turn it off. I can't. Yeah, it's not going to pick up. there's no speedy parts to this film. This is the pace. If you can't handle it, we might as well bow out now. Yeah. Okay. Because even I was like, I don't remember them driving through this Romanian village in tanks in slow motion this long. Yeah. Michael Mann did a lot of that in this. I mean, and what he did, Paramount kept a lot of it. For instance, most of the scenes involving smoke were filmed in reverse to, what is the main villain's name? Melasser, I believe that's his name. When he materializes, it's just smoke going in reverse until it's all the way in him, and then he appears. Mann does that a lot in this movie. He does it not there, but just multiple different scenes. He shows a lot of things in reverse. Even the alternate ending of the film is shot in reverse. And the thing is, I'm sure that they practiced it. I'm sure that they did many different takes, and I'm sure they used the best one, but you can absolutely tell it's being shot in reverse. No fucking way about it. It's just, yeah, okay, she's moving her hand in such a way, and okay, I got it. It's shot in fucking reverse. And some of the smoke effects, when they do that, it works, but for the most part, it doesn't. And for a film that boasts to have 14 different visual and special effects people that have won or been nominated for Oscars, yeah, there's this grand scale that they have this film on, and you can tell that a lot of work was put into it, but you don't care. You really don't. Oh. You could tell that they spent a lot of money on certain things and not a lot of money on a lot of other things. Like the budget I read is supposed to be $6 million, which for a film in 1983 is actually not a lot of money. I think what did Alien cost? $20 million? Something like that? And that was only made 3 or 4 years earlier. Something like that. So I think the average film in the early 80s was ranging anywhere from 15 to 30 million to make. This film only cost $6, and it looks bigger than that. I will give them that. But there are scenes that it's like, yeah, that's a soundstage, and it's a bad one too. So, can you imagine if this film was ever remastered in HD? You probably see so many more things. Yeah, but now the problem with that though too is even if they did that, it's a very bleak film. Yeah. It's bleak. It could have been black and white. It should have been black and white. There's really no color. It's Nazi black. Wait. I mean, except for.
Well, no. The only thing that we get to see, the only cuts of this film we get to see, are the VHS and Laserdisc rips. They have been. I mean, how many generations are? All right.
Yeah, I get
I've seen an HD cut of this movie. It's got a lot more color than you're giving it credit.
Yeah, but it's still it's a gray mountainside. It's a gray keep. It's black scenes, black uniforms, gray uniforms. It's not. there's not much color to it, except occasionally when our hero bleeds green. That's neither here nor there. Yeah. So it's a very bleak film. It's very for a film that has Nazis and supernatural monsters in it. It's very slow.
Oh yeah,
and very deliberate. And there's a lot of talking and quiet tones and discussions and contemplations and dialogue and things like that. So I'm not sure how much it's going to benefit from an HD conversion. Well, the picture will be clearer, that's for sure.
The version that I have on the screen is actually from the UK, and it's a satellite rip is what it was called. It's as remastered as you can get for this movie, and
right.
It's got not a lot of color, but I can tell just from this conversion that I can tell a remastered HD rip of this is going to be a little bit more colorful than. You're not wrong. It is a very
I know
like muted film.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's not that muted.
But it's intentional too. I mean, I think what Michael Mann was trying to do in the film, and I haven't watched it in a while, and rewatching it now, really a lot of it comes through. Michael Mann really grabbed onto, sunk his teeth into the kind of metaphors that F. Paul Wilson was playing with in the book, and just the whole idea of the Nazis and he doesn't like play it coy either. Half of it's in the dialogue between Prochnow and Gabriel Byrne. That the whole idea about these monsters facing a real monster, and the supernatural versus human, and I mean, there's the symbolism and everything. There's a lot going on, and I think he was so wrapped up in the message that that was the whole point. I mean, this is a bleak landscape. That's what the war was. Right. I think it's intentional. I don't think he wanted anything, bright. I think the green blood was just like an afterthought or just something to throw in there. It's really just, throwing, giving some heads up to the positive side of the supernatural, but that's what he wanted.
No, and I agree. But I think the film is on iTunes now. I don't believe it's HD, but it's been remastered. I'd love to see that cut of it. I'm sure it's better than what I have. And
now, quick synopsis.
Oh, yeah.
The Nazis are rolling through Romania, and they take over this keep in this little village in a pass. It's like a dead end in a mountain.
That's right.
And there's 108 nickel. What?
No, I was going to say because Mein Fuhrer told him to.
Oh, yeah, well, sure. He's given all the orders to Nazis. Go figure.
Yeah.
And there's like 100. It's a weird keep. It's kind of built inside out. So like the strong stuff, like as Jürgen Prochnow says, it's like you're trying to keep something in. And he's not Russian, but for some reason that's the only thing I can do right now. And I don't think that's Russian.
German. He's German. You can't get more German than Prochnow.
This was actually his first American Hollywood film too.
Oh, was it really?
So, yeah. And boy, he's fucking awesome in this.
Yeah. I like him.
Oh, he's fucking great.
He had just done Das Boot, or The Boat, just a year or two earlier than this?
Uh-huh.
Something like that. Which,
yeah.
Let's put it this way. Jürgen Prochnow is no stranger to long movies. So when he goes and he makes The Boat, Das Boot, which is like a 3.5, almost 4-hour epic, and then he goes right into this, like right after, it's like, you know what? What do you? Can we add another hour? I'm good. That's basically how that went.
He's a German actor. I have the whole script memorized. Just tell me where to start.
Yes, I got it this morning. I'm good. Let's go. Slackers.
But so they take over this keep, and some Nazis meddle with the nickel crosses in the stone that they're told not to touch because they think it's silver. They release something unspeakable that starts killing off the Nazis one by one. Gabriel Byrne rolls into town, Gabriel Byrne, I think he's one of those people that just looks very comfortable in a Nazi uniform. Just very relaxed. And
weirdest Nazi haircut ever.
And whereas Jurgen Prochnow's character is kind of a sympathetic, humanistic, like the non.
You okay?
They were like the good Germans. I'm not big on history. Bear with me on that. But he's like more sensitive and human. He's doing his job as a soldier. Gabriel Byrne's like is towing the Nazi line. So he comes into town, and the way you stop this is you kill random civilians until people stop doing it.
Right. You could tell that Jurgen Prochnow is like, maybe the Fuhrer, maybe he's not right about this one. Whereas Gabriel Byrne's like, yeah, not only is he right, but I could do a little bit more fucked up. He'll like that. He'll dig it.
And they disassociate the idea of the difference between just like a soldier, human folly and flaw, and human brutality and pure evil, which is kind of what the Nazis represent. I don't know why, but that's kind of the thing we've kind of assigned to them. And so Gabriel Byrne, it becomes human evil facing real evil, and then there's a whole subplot with a Jew that almost destroys the world because he's a professor, but kind of stupid. And
little dumb.
And then there's Scott Glenn, who I always like to think of as the poor man's David Carradine, and he is some kind of supernatural hero with green blood that senses the evil escaping and then comes to the rescue at the end of the film. I'm kind of giving away the whole plot there, but that's roughly. There's nothing else to it. I mean, that's wrong.
And as Sean would say, that Scott Glenn, it's like his traps are so good. Meaning the trapezoids, because they're huge around his neck.
Yeah.
It's like he's pretending to be Michael Mann. He goes, listen, Scott, you got some pretty nice traps already, but we got to make them bigger. Sitting 6 hours of makeup to make his shoulders and neck just look gigantic. They just had to make him look weird.
Well, I think in some way too, they wanted him to be kind of an opposite yet an equal to
Malasar.
Malasar. Who, as you mentioned last episode, I compared the dark side from the DC Comics.
Yeah,
he's got the glowing eyes and the head. Really got that dark side feel to him.
As a matter of fact, I have a picture of him here.
Uh-oh.
I'll put him up on the screen for everyone real quick. There we go. Dark side. I mean, he looks just
from you.
Yeah, I mean, he looks just like fucking. He really does look just like fucking Darkseid.
Yeah.
And I said Doomsday, but I mean, they're both Superman villains. I just got them mixed up. I don't know why, but I did.
It's easy, but yeah, no, I mean, I get Darkseid, and yeah, if you like have a clearer cut of the picture, he's got the glowing red, and then you got the green and the blue with Glenn, but really, I mean, apart from that, the whole film is just like different shades of gray.
Yeah, here he is. I got him on there for everyone. That's Darkseid. I mean, you can't get more. It's him. What was I don't know when the first appearance of Darkseid was, but I have a feeling that it was before this movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, and of course, a young Ian McKellen.
And by young, you what? Like mid-30s?
By young, I mean I'm used to seeing him ancient, so I don't even recognize him as young as he is in this. That's what I mean by young. I mean not 90.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Now, what's interesting about him in this movie is
Jesus, he was born in 1939.
Yeah, he's 76.
So he's like in his 40s in this film.
Yeah,
very young in this movie.
Totally young, so young.
Yeah, he's not Gandalf yet.
Well,
Gandalf wouldn't have fallen for Malasar's bullshit.
True.
Run, you fool. And
Okay.
can I ask?
Here we go.
Yeah.
And this is Malasar. There he is. For everyone to compare. I mean, it looks just like fucking Darkseid. So, there you go. But no, anyway, the thing with it is that one of the things that I always said about Ian McKellen in The Keep was that Peter Jackson, when he's telling him to do the scene with the Balrog, I always make the joke that he's like, give me a little from The Keep. Come on, give it to me, just a little bit. Because there's that scene when he's confronting Malasar, where he's got the cross, and he's like, "You must take it," and then he keeps yelling at him, "Take it!" And it's just like, yeah, I could see. It's like, you shall not pass. And it's like, it's the same fucking scene. It's the McKellen. It's just the way he delivers the lines.
Sure.
If I had more time, I was gonna grab both scenes and play them, and we were gonna listen to them, and then just be amazed at how similar they were. But I did not have enough time.
I'd rather just listen to you do them both.
Well,
how would Taylor Kitsch do that line?
I don't know.
You're not fun.
I have no idea. Here's a scene on the screen where Mann is using smoke in reverse, which
is this also one of the shots where Michael Mann is using titles so small that you can't read them?
Jesus Christ! I mean,
what the fuck is up with that?
Even on a 30-foot movie screen, you know, bigger than that. Movie screens are bigger than that. On a gigantic movie screen, IMAX, whatever you want to do, it's still goddamn tiny. No matter what you put it on.
I swear they get smaller as the film goes.
Yeah.
Like when they tell you where Scott Glenn is, like, what the fuck? What does that say? I can't. Even though when the Keep comes up, it's like, it's tiny. The name of the film is tiny.
And you know what's interesting too? And I'm sure it wasn't on purpose. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. But I watched the alternate ending today. And the person that put the video together used the same font, the same color, and it's fucking microscopic. Because it talks about the alternate ending. And I'm like, I had to pause it so I could fucking read it. It's like, you bastard. It's like, you dick. You can't make this shit any bigger?
What? 8-point font. Deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an 8-point font using fucking Verdana. Go fuck yourself.
And since they took it away from Michael Mann, like I don't even know if it was his choice on that. Maybe, like the studio's like, yeah, just throw the titles in. What's the big deal? Oh, okay, you don't care what's the big deal? Okay, fine.
Yeah, I would imagine that Michael Mann gave Paramount 210 minutes of principal footage, and they just, that's too long. So then he cut it to 2 hours, and they actually test screened that. And they said that it test screened really poorly at 2 hours. So Paramount just said, you know what? We're cutting it down to 97 minutes.
You know,
or 96 and a half.
It's the big dilemma. Because honestly, even at an hour and a half, technically, when you watch this film, it feels too long. Because it's a slow film. But the question is, I mean, obviously, it's a studio. They want to make money. They want to please a large audience. So if a random audience that never wanted to see the film in the first place doesn't like it, and that's a fucking thing too with these test screenings. Take a group of random people, put them in a movie theater, say, okay, watch this film and tell us if you like it, and you give them like a comedy or an action film. It's easy to get into. You take a bunch of people that have no idea what they're going to watch and plop them down for this slow plotting examination of the inhumanities of man. It's like, well, what the fuck is this? Well, is this over yet? Yeah, it's like, there's our afternoon wasted. Of course they're not going to fucking like it. And they didn't ask to see the film.
He presented a 3.5-hour cut during a time when a 2-hour or 2.5-hour film was a rarity. You know, if you had a film that was over 2 hours, that was considered an epic
it's unfair. I mean, I want to see the 2.5 hour version because Michael Mann is not an incompetent filmmaker.
3.5.
You know, and
oh no,
I mean, even Manhunter is slow in a lot of parts. It's a slow, dark, and again, it's a slow, dark film. It's kind of monochrome. I would argue the same thing. I think it's his style.
Yep.
I don't think he goes for a lot of color, and because I think he's really trying to go for this like darkness around him. Am I wrong in saying Michael? No, Michael Mann, Manhunter, right?
Michael Mann.
Yeah,
that's Michael Mann. Yeah, Miami Vice, Manhunter.
Right. Wow, let's not bring Miami Vice into this.
No, but even the TV show Miami Vice, you know, and it's Miami's a colorful city. That show too was muted in its own way.
But I think it's really unfair. Looking at this film now, it's easy to say it's a bad movie because some of the special effects are subpar, and because the editing's not that great. Because they just chop the shit out of it to try to pin it down to 1.5.
And that's why I'd love to see the 3.5 hour cut, because it's supposed to be, the music is supposed to be not, because they say you go from scene to scene that's edited poorly. The music is just, you can tell it's been stopped, and it's a Tangerine Dream soundtrack. I like Tangerine Dream, and I think that music works well in Michael Mann movies, specifically Manhunter.
I agree with that, with Tangerine Dream, and with it working well in Michael Mann films. I think this is the exception to the rule.
I like this soundtrack.
No, I do not like the soundtrack.
I really like the soundtrack.
No, I think it does not fit the film. I personally did not care for it. I could have done with a lot less Tangerine Dream in this one. That's the one thing I have to disagree with you on.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I just didn't. I was like, just didn't care for it. Wow, there's. You know what kills me is just when you look at some of like the Photoshop, not Photoshop, but like Photoshop DVD covers where they hire some graphic arts major just change it. We can't use the original movie posters to make something new, and they just take elements from the poster and and they just like change the font and shit. And I'm looking at these like DVD covers of The Keep, and they show they show the monster on the cover, and then behind The Keep there's a Nazi symbol. You get it? Oh man.
Yeah, the poster that I have that I'm using for my Plex is I think it's the one from the original movie poster, where it's The Keep looks like the actual keep from the film. Like the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the original movie poster. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like it. But
what? You don't like it?
It's okay.
It's not somebody looking over their shoulder. It's not just folding heads.
It's not the girl grabbing the guy's tie. I get it. I know.
Yeah. But I think it's easy to just shit talk the film and say it's a bad movie. And in some ways it kind of is. But really, there's a lot of really good performances in it. There's a lot. Anything with any scene with Gabriel Byrne and Jürgen Prochnow, just turn it up all the way, because he's gonna mumble, and just drink it in, because that is fucking acting at its best.
And I hear that the iTunes, the remaster that they have, all of those scenes where they're mumbling, they said you can understand it better.
Well,
because the sound, because
the
sound has been remastered too. So, I'm surprised that no one has taken that, and like there are people that are just crying to have this remastered. There's a guy I saw. I think you are the one that pointed me in the direction of it. He like made his own box set for it. Like he designed it himself. It's like the box looks like the Keep, like the building. It's like it opens up like almost like a dollhouse, and there's like the discs are inside. He made it himself, and he's like presenting it to Paramount to say, "Listen, we can do this. Let's do this." I thought you pointed me in the direction of it, but
it must have been a while ago, because I don't recall that.
It was when we watched it at Sean's house. It was like later that week or 2 weeks later.
I can see that definitely
4 years ago.
I that's something I could definitely see myself doing.
Yeah. I would love to see a complete like director's cut. Like Michael Mann got all the footage and was able to cut it Even if it's not the 210-minute version, just a version that he approves, maybe a 3-hour, maybe even a 2.5 hour, just a more complete cut. I wonder what he could do with that much footage.
Well, they did release an official soundtrack of the film.
Oh, yeah? Get my hands on that.
Yeah, it's out there. Do you know they made a board game?
Oh, God. Did they really?
I read that somewhere while I was watching the film. I'm like, just looking stuff up online. There's a fucking board game that they designed because they assumed it was going to be such a big hit. There is a Keep board game. I want that. I have no idea what it looks like. I didn't look it up or anything. I just saw that and said, yeah, that's for me. Oh, and there it is. The Keep board game. I just found it. I want that. I want it. I want it. I want it. It's like a board game, but it looks like one of those in-depth board games, like strategy board games.
Right.
If I'm looking at the right one here.
Here, let's take a look. They thought it was going to be a big hit. Let's take a look at some movies that were released in 1983. Specifically, this film came out in June, so you know they were trying to go for blockbuster. Let's see. Nothing really in January. Although The Year of Living Dangerously is a January movie. I bet that's a limited release in 82 and a wide release in 83. The Entity comes out in February 1983. Great date movie.
Welcome home, cunt.
And Videodrome came out the same weekend.
You know, if you put that line in any Paranormal Activity film, it would prove that film by 100%.
It probably.
I would kill. I would kill to have that. Just like watch. That would be great.
Oh, King of Comedy in February. All right, let's go right to June. Let's see what it was up against. Okay, The Man with Two Brains.
Yay!
Psycho 2. War Games.
I like Psycho 3.
Wait a minute. The movie was now if I remember, the movie was supposed to come out on June 3rd, but they pushed it because Paramount was still cutting the shit out of it. So it actually was released December of 1983. But let's see what it would have gone up against in June. Just that weekend alone, it was Man with Two Brains, Psycho 2, and War Games. All that weekend.
War Games, wow.
Yeah. Trading Places the following week. Octopussy 2 days later. The following week, Superman 3. Then a week after that, Porky's 2, Twilight Zone, and a personal favorite of mine, Yellowbeard.
I have to revisit that. I haven't.
I do too. I haven't seen it in a while. All right, December. Here we go. Oh boy. December 9th was Christine, Scarface, and Sudden Impact, all in the same weekend. That's a heavy lineup right there. Then the following week was Silkwood. There's Oscars all over that one. All right, December 16th, the weekend that The Keep comes out. You have DC Cab, Gorky Park, The Man Who Loved Women, To Be or Not to Be, Two of a Kind.
I saw To Be or Not to Be in a theater.
Did you really?
I saw that in the theater, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Uncommon Valor, Reuben, and The Keep. They released 8 movies that weekend. That is a lot of fucking movies for a weekend. I mean, holy shit. And then Chattanooga Choo Choo and Walking the Edge to end the year on December 31st. So, yeah, it was pretty much destined for failure. Made $3 million, cost $6 million, and Michael Mann was allowed to direct again, which is obviously good.
I have an idea for a show.
Okay.
I think we should get together and play a movie in the background while we play the board game based on the movie.
Oh, dear Lord.
But just but like put highlights together, not show like the entire thing, but like just like record it and clip, edit, do some editing for a change. But I think that we should do that. Now, I'm very upset because while you're going over that, I'm like doing a quick search on eBay and stuff, and I can't find the Keep board game anywhere for sale. Nobody's got this fucking thing. I'm very upset.
I'm sure it might actually be worth a pretty penny if someone does have it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what?
Just because it's not on eBay.
No. Board games are weird that way. Like just because it's old doesn't mean it's gonna sell for a lot. And I'm coming across some right now. If it's not a name that's popular, good luck. I don't know. It could go either way. But I don't know. I mean, that would be an awesome Christmas gift if anybody listening was looking for. But it's impossible to find, so it's not even fair saying that.
Is it on Amazon? You could put it in your wish list.
No, it's not, dude. I can't even find any like real articles on it. I can find pictures of it if I do a search. There's hardly anything. There's one website's got a review about it. One of those, a blog on board games has some stuff on it.
Who made it?
And it looks
like Hasbro or something.
It's a Mayfair game.
Mayfair.
Actually, it looks like a dull game too. it looks as long and boring as the movie.
That's funny.
There was also and it says here there was also an RPG module based on it. Oh wow. Now I need to know about that. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean,
they really went all out. I mean, because it was supposed to be a June release. 3 to 6 players, playing time 45 minutes. Suggested age 10 and up. Category horror, movie, TV, radio.
Radio.
I don't know why it says radio theme.
I mean, that's one of the weird things about, like, I would say the 60s through the 90s was that the bizarre things they would try to capitalize in as far as merchandising goes, like making games out of things, and like just like remember the Rambo cartoon and Rambo cereal. Really?
I ate Rambo cereal at one point.
Me too. Doesn't mean it was a good idea.
Nope.
The cartoon wasn't a good idea.
And I watched it every day.
Well, yeah. I just wow. It's mind-boggling. I mean, there's our culture is just fucked, and it's a beautiful labyrinthine, multifaceted kaleidoscope of fucked up, and it's just every time you think you got a handle on the culture, you just look and say they made a board game for the Keep, and it just like everything resets. It's like, oh, all right, I don't know anything. I have to start all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
It gets to the point, it's like like Hello Kitty vibrators. Like, oh, okay, I have to reset again.
Sure.
And then you keep board game, reset. You can't fucking keep up.
Jesus vibrators. I mean, they're all out there. Jesus butt plugs.
That's religious, but
but still
who doesn't like a good butt
plug? Hey, I think we'd ask, but we probably wouldn't find anyone that is opposed to it. I'm sure there'd be plenty of people. Oh,
maybe the person reading this book on Hillary Clinton I have. But that's a different podcast.
Ah, yes, it is.
Now, as far as a challenge for you.
Uh-huh.
Before we get to that, let's rate this.
Let's rate it.
Right now it's 5.8 on IMDb.
Okay.
I'll let you make the first suggestion.
Well, I don't want to. I think 6 is too high and 5 is too low. I'd love a middle ground. We can never do that with IMDb.
I think 5's too low.
I think 6. I think I'd be okay with a 6 because I know there's a better film here. That Paramount really is the one that fucked it up.
Yeah, and also I mean, there is substance to the film and the dialogue, and there's some great dialogue scenes and everything. And it's just, it's hard to tell what could have been without seeing that original cut. So, I think in all fairness, it deserves a 6 just for, and also, to be fair too, this is a film that's not, it doesn't try to excuse itself. It doesn't try to play cute or funny or make light. Michael Mann said, all right, I'm making a serious film on a serious book about a serious topic of Romanian demons. And he keeps to that.
Yeah.
Not really demons, but I'm paraphrasing. And it takes a lot of balls to make a film in the 80s that you could consider a horror film, but isn't really a horror film. And I think it deserves at least a 6. I can't in good conscience give it a 5.
Yeah, I agree with a 6. I mean,
6.
Yeah,
6 it is.
6 it is. Now I remember reading that F. Paul Wilson was obviously disappointed with the movie, and I thought I read that he was disappointed with Michael Mann, but I wonder if that has changed because he now knows that Michael Mann did try to make a better film. You know, he's got a 3.5-hour movie dedicated to his book. I would imagine that, that's going to be a much different movie than what he saw.
F. Paul Wilson isn't like a mainstream name like Stephen King or,
Kuntz.
Yeah, but who?
Kuntz, Dinar Kuntz.
Dinar Kuntz, correct. But he is a prolific author. He has written dozens of novels. This is one. The Keep is actually the first in a series, and he had like 5 different like cycles, you could call them, and they actually intertwined with each, like really like a complex tapestry of intertwining mythologies throughout these books. Yeah, very interesting. I tried to read them all, but my attention span, as far as reading series of novels, does not bode well. After 2 or 3, I need to move on to something different. So I think there's a lot involved in what he writes. There's definitely a deep mythos, and seeing that just kind of like fucked up in the book, in the movie. There's a main aspect to the whole idea that it's supposed to be a vampire, but it's not. It's like the whole play on mythology, and they lose that in the movie. And it's a major turning point in the book. When you lose that reveal, it's kind of like, you lose a bit of that edge. And I can see him upset about that too, because that's the flow of the book. But real quick, the Keep on IMDb, 5.8 is the average.
Oh yeah,
7,700 reviewers.
Not a lot.
And the majority of raters have agreed with us and gave it a 6, 20%.
Okay.
Lowest demographic. Females under 18. Only 2 have rated the film, and they didn't like it. 4-star average. Wow. Highest demographic, males under 18. Only 4 have seen it, and they liked it enough to give it an average of 6.5.
Look at that.
Everybody else is around 5.5 to 6.
Yep.
Except the IMDb staff, 4 of them gave it an average of 5.8.
All right. Episode 189. It almost feels like we're going to do it next week, but it almost feels like we should hold Jim Cotta to our 200th episode. Like, we should plan something.
All right, let's do Cool World instead, then.
No. We're doing Jim Cotta. We can figure out something else for 200. Anyway. All right, everybody. Go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Download any of the shows there. You can listen to the show live every week, Thursdays at 8 p.m., you can listen to the show right on the site. You can go to iTunes and download or listen to the show there as well. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. Everything we talk about, everything we post goes there. You can also go to our Tumblr page at Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. If you want to leave us voicemail, the number is 908-514-4470. If you want to email us, the address is themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. And if you want, we highly recommend downloading the Android app, 100% free. Everything I just said is in the app. You should definitely grab that. If you want to do a search for us, Scott likes Google.
Google it.
Ow. Just do a search for Moviesucktastic, and lo and behold, the amount of shit that comes up. Japanese porn sites grabbing our Exotica coverage from like 4 years ago. It's
really?
It's pretty crazy, yeah. Which I'm still getting in trouble for.
Pictures I took.
It is your fault, but it's nor here nor there. Anyway, all right, and that about does it. Do you have any words of wisdom for us?
Jim Carter.
Jim Carter. All right, everybody. Talk to you next week.
Oh yeah.
Bye bye.